that's pretty good against Wraith King as well.
For sure. I think the scary part happens is if this Wraith King actually gets farmed, if his lane goes well, and he's the one forcing objectives, then like you actually are forced to contest and go into the Wraith King, or else he's gonna take your buildings.
True.
So it's
they also
really
have
about
Axe,
how
right?
the game is looking. Yeah.
With the Axe, they have like a constant fighting lineup, right? Between Axe, Wraith King, and Pango, you don't have too much downtime. Obviously, Reincarnation, yes, but eventually that goes to 60 seconds. So you could put a lot of pressure theoretically. It's not the kind of tempo we were talking about in the draft, but it is a different kind of tempo that could frustrate KBU.
Also, one thing worth mentioning here: the usually these stuns they have a pretty long cooldown, but Coddle plus Wraith King, you actually get 4 seconds of stun with Wraithfire Blast. Well, as I try to hype up their draft, they're gonna feed First Blood on 0.
Yep, and Realmy then got it, which is fantastic because he had a Battle Hunger on him, so now he's gonna be perfectly fine. Sunlight. He's like, oh wait, guys, there's no rune here. I don't know why I'm staying. Let's go. Let's go back to gather our gold.
But yeah, the combo, once the Coddle has max Chakra Magic with the stun, they can actually burst people very easily. But you do, need Blink on this Wraith King, and you need 4 points of Wraithfire Blast. That does take a while, but it's a very strong timing that they have. They just kill anyone.
Yep. Obviously, the First Blood is not going to help him too much, but I agree. Again, Axe's or Zero's comfort pick of Axe as well. Up there with the Timbersaw. I think Timbersaw is by far his best hero, but I remember when he was on 4 Zoomers, he used to play a fair amount of Axe as well. And that's where I first got to know Zero properly in the like Div 1 per se scene. Oh, Annihilate just missed a range creep. That was bad. I'm sorry I caught the Annihilate. I'm going to go to another lane and let you do your thing.
Keep him privacy, dude.
Yeah, I feel bad after that. Oh, and the Warden just stole the range creep. Okay.
Come on, Sprite.
Why? What was that play for? I don't really understand that one. Now the lane pushes into the tower, and Sunlight has less farm. What am I catching, Bowie? I'm out of lanes. I have to go bottom.
It's Mirana things, Don't really contribute much. So like, at least I'm giving experience to the Sand King, because as a Sand King, you don't want to go that close to the tower. So it's fine, but as an offlaner, you always get salty about that. There you go. Another arrow. Bottom lane, we see this Void Grimstroke. Very strong lane, by the way. They won't have the Dispel of the Enchantress here. So Zero has to be careful once they get a couple of levels. At level 3, there's a lot of kill potential coming from KBU.
Don't you think they're probably going to go on Coddle first rather than the Axe? 'Cause I think Axe is a bit difficult to kill here with Void.
It really depends, because Coddle is really fast. So if they can somehow get him with 2 cooldowns and then use time dilation, there's definitely a chance. But you cannot jump him when he has all cooldowns up because you don't have enough slow.
Yep. I feel like the Axe pick, what the difficulty of Void has is each of the time locks is... Yeah, he's going to go for it as the Coddle. Got Z, they managed to actually just catch up to him, but not enough damage just yet. Salacious Sea Lion could be in trouble. As we talked about, Coddle a bit too fast, could just run underneath his tower. Salacious Sea Lion, though, not looking at the Axe, means he's not going to get slowed there, so he's going to be perfectly fine.
Braxy here, doing a lot of damage to the Sand King. Just doing spranky things, but no one's going to die so far.
I mean, Ench alone can pretty much zone out the 2 heroes in KBU. I don't think that there's anything Wraith King has to do.
Yeah, they're trying their best to actually body block the Campus Mirana, but as levels go by, the Mirana doesn't trade effectively versus her. So you either have to buy a sentry, or you're gonna have to kind of abandon this lane as Mirana, just stack for the Sand King and let the Wraith King pre-farm, which is very good for Black King Aloe. Look, the safe lane looks much better, so that's very promising, I think.
Yeah, that's true. I think that's all the Ench is doing, right? We talked about the Mirana arrow to counter the Ench, and it's true, but she's been using it for a lot of other things and not just the Ench creep, which makes Ench's enchant seem much stronger. How's the Pango doing, by the way? He is being beat by Annihilate, but not by so much, actually.
Yeah, he does have to fair a salve, but you just want to soak XP, get the level 6, then you do have kill potential on the Snapfire.
Arrow? Never mind, it's Enchantress in the early levels, and he actually went for 2 points in the heal. Now they have an opportunity to kill Sunlight. A crit hits, the enchant slow. Sunlight has a burst strike, but doesn't have a chance to use it. So he's going to fall here. Black and yellow pretty happy with this laning start.
Yeah, I mean, even bottom is looking pretty decent. Look at the creeps on Realm. He has 8 creeps right now. I think the big problem is that Grimstroke is a very slow hero. He also doesn't want to be like in the face of the Coddle. So he cannot scout for these illuminates, and the Void is just
dying.
Oh my god! He doesn't have TP.
Oh my god! Oh, he died without TP as well.
Oh lord! Physical pain right now. I feel all of his emotions. This is rough.
That was. Well, that feels bad, and they also lose Snapfire mid as well. Okay. Well, Black and Yellow is doing exactly what we said was the only win condition they had, which was kind of winning early and snowballing from there, and it's working out for them. So that there's a strong, with these kills, they actually have a strong chance of honestly winning this game. They matter a lot.
The Brave King totally set up for success already. He has treads. Brex is just 2 versus 1 versus the heroes on KBU, and they don't even like try to hit him. This is looking much better in game 1. I love that they didn't went into the debate of picking Death Prophet. I think that did not help them at all that game.
Yes. Would also help that she was banned as well.
Yeah.
That also helped them a little bit. Yeah, I agree. KPU, they're gonna... I mean, this Coddle is actually crushing the Void much more than I expected in lane. Those time blocks used to be maxed now. No points in time block means no offensive potential that we spoke about earlier.
What a sad game for Realm. He has to rush this.
Okay. Danny? The Rolling Thunder will hit 1. So we have any other slows? It's the Enchant. P1 does manage to find something to bunk. And that's going to be a Snapfire dead. With a level 3 shield crash, P1 is getting the perfect build for the Pango. Working wonderfully. 2 times killed the Snapfire as well. Slash C-Line could be in trouble. We need more mana for this Pango though. There we go. Mana's been given. But Grimstroke's too far away, so he can't shield crash him in time, and they'll have to give up on that kill.
Really good play from them, Rana. They're actually taking the catapult because they had a lot of skeletons. They had the catapult wave waiting to do more damage, and even still, that's almost half of the HP gone. We did talk about they playing fast, and that's pretty much one. Pango usually not the greatest siege hero, but Enchantress just allows weird things to happen.
Yeah, Enchantress is kind of ridiculous. If you've watched any of the Liquid games where Insania's move with Enchantress every single game is, I find Dark Troll Summoner, I send him mid no matter what's happening, and he slowly takes the tower while the enemy team is distracted. It's kind of ridiculous.
It really is. People like to complain about a Harpy that is broken, but the throw is second.
Yes.
In that, especially because as Ench you don't have to farm to get that creep, so you just do so much with it early on.
The Dark Troll Summoner was actually complained by by Fly. He mentioned people are talking about the Harpy, but this Dark Troll Summoner is the real issue with the patch. You'll see when Enchantresses come to play. I think he's been somewhat right. I think Harpy is a bit worse because it's committed a lot of supports to go for Humble the Dominator, but Fly was partially right with that tweet.
Yeah, it's just I think it's kind of dumb that by itself with no real repercussions a creep can do that much. Maybe if it was an Ashen creep, maybe if there was any downside, but I don't know how you actually fix it. Maybe you just make the aura that these skeletons get, maybe instead of +2 you get +1. That would already be a pretty big decrease in the damage that it does. But 3 skeletons by themselves, they're just too strong, especially now that they changed the damage types of all those creeps.
So on one hand, I agree with you. I think that's a pretty good idea. But on the other hand, I also spam Enchantress, so no. That's my answer as an objective caster here.
Ah, I see.
No. The tower's gonna fall to
Enchantress. I love that you're biased, that you actually care about the state of the game. Thank you very much.
Yes. I care about my MMR more than I care about the state of the game, let me tell you. And Richie is not going to be sick forever. Yeah. Though, I think if he dies, I might just reach Immortal. I think that's how it goes right now. Anyway, they took the tower down bottom. What do you think of this build, by the way, by the enchanters of getting 3 points in attendance as opposed to the 2? And like getting any points in impetus. We saw this once in SA. Do you think this is okay for this game?
I like it. I think having the sustain allows them to keep playing fast, right? Because even if they fight, you're still gonna get the heal and be able to stay in the lanes, not have to go back base. And it could be a way to counter those Chronospheres. So yeah, I was gonna say this. If he survives, it's the healing, but no, it's trash.
No, it's not. It's not good enough against the Corona plus Mortimer's Kisses. But it was a good theory, though. I mean, if he goes for Hooded Defiance after this, which is not that uncommon in Enchantress, it might not be the craziest idea.
Yeah, the problem there is that the creeps were kind of soaking a little bit of the heal. If they were pretty close from each other, I think it could have been enough for a swashbuckle. The Ench would probably die. But still, I don't mind it. It's not like the enchant by itself is going to do that much, and they have like a fair amount of ranged heroes on KBU, so he's not going to be using Impetus to do much as well. But the Koto falls to MMR Tourist.
Yes, Sunlight. As, he put this game because he's from Belarusia, and he that's what he calls himself because he goes to NA to get free MMR. But I also think that getting this as an official name is a little bit too spicy even for my taste, so I'd like to call him by his original name of Sunlight, as opposed to shame every North American every single time I talk to him. Zero. He has to be getting the arrow hit here. They have a Scatter Blast in a second. Zero. Okay. There's a Scatter Blast, and that's going to be enough to kill him off. Annihilate. Still pretty strong. Go for Boots Travel first. They have silenced P1, but P1 still has a chance here to initiate, but he's going to choose the pacifist route and instead go for the objectives.
I love what they're doing here with Black and Yellow. They get the tower bottom, catapult mid. They know there's no chrono. This is the way their draft's supposed to play, and they don't let that death really stop them. In fact, the chrono being used just makes them even more willing to do what they're doing right now. So very nicely done. The heal is also good for the creeps, right? Because you just want to be sending those creeps to do damage, and you can tank them for longer if you have more points in the attendant.
You know what? That's actually a very, very good point. That's sold me. Because that's allowed them to take towers much earlier. Allowed the creeps to be much stronger. I think you could still do it without the heal, but I can see the logic behind that, right? So I like that idea.
I think you're just gonna ignore Impetus this game and get, you want to maximize the duration, but also making sure that some crucial creeps stay alive, like a centaur. After a fight, you want to make sure it's full HP again for the next one. There's definitely lots of things you can do. And look at the Skelly boys. They want your tier 2 and they already force a glyph. Just the sight of the skeletons force a glyph.
Now, so Dark Troll Summoner is a very scary, very, very scary creep these days. And look at this P1 covering this Dark Troll Summoner. He could go for the Rolling Thunder. He was considering it. Do we have any sort of detection? We do have a sentry now. Oh, we have a dust actually the whole time. Swashbuckle's gonna miss. Epicenter's been charged. Epicenter on top of the Rolling Thunder, only gonna attack the Enchantress. She has the heal, she's gonna be fine. Zero does die in somewhere else, but they kill somebody in exchange and maybe push a tower as well. Where did Zero die? Up top, okay. He was pushing out the dead lane.
Yeah, offlaner for offlaner. Pretty similar trade, but they did use Epicenter, so this is gonna slow down KBU a little bit. The only way this Chronosphere is going to be impactful with the way Realms Farm is going is when they play with the Snapfire. So I would like to see maybe some sort of move where they collapse to top the XTP stop again, and they actually did that. So a smoke towards top looks pretty good, but it's actually Black and Yellow that smoked. They might even find an Annihilate close to the triangle.
Oh no, this would be bad because he only has Boots of Travel. He's really hoping to... Okay, he's really hoping to...
Not a fan of this build, by the way.
Yeah. I was... Okay, we'll talk about it. Sorry,
yeah,
got lost in thought. Go ahead.
Nah, it's just... like you have these heroes, like you have Inkswell, and you have the Snapfire ult with Eggs. I feel like you either get Blink Shard or you get the Eggs. The Travels just... like, you have this Void underfarmed, and in a way, it allows you to actually get to his lane. But it's not like Chronosphere is going to be up all the time. It's such a long cooldown. It doesn't hurt just walk to him once he has Chrono. And it still have the blink to keep playing fast and allow him to farm once the Chrono is down. I really feel like with the way they're playing fast in Black and Yellow, they might just get over a run. And the BKB might not even come on time.
I think you're right, my friend. And that's kind of scary because when you're playing around your cooldowns, right, the mid team has the perfect lineup to play between those cooldowns. It feels like these kind of builds just add to that issue.
Yeah.
That conversation, by the way, between them and the admins. As always, you do need a reason for your pause. You can't just pause. Shaggy, for example, demonstrated that a while back. That's going to be Inkswell. Okay, Mortimer's Kisses. They caught P1 this time as well. Time Lock, though, not going to be enough. As that last stun doesn't quite kill him. And they're going to be able to finish off Realm. So in the end, all this initiation, not for much, really. Considering they lost the Void. And now they're also going to lose Salacious Sea Lion. More armor for the Axe. P1 wants to go further. The Warden is out of mana, which means even if he has leap charges, he can't use them. Zero will catch him in the trees. The Warden, though, is just going to walk away. He's fine. He's tricked him. He's going to actually TP. No way he gets away with this. There we go. P1 finally finds him, and the Warden will fall to black and yellow.
Yeah, this is disastrous, because if the Void just dies, I don't think it matters that much. KBU could just go for smoke, they could go for play, but they use the Chrono and the Kisses. So what do you actually do? Your heroes, your items, they are not made to do anything with those cooldowns being down. Oh, okay, Sand King. They don't really have any damage. This could be bad for them.
This, what?
Okay.
What?
He's testing it. It works.
It does. I still have Epicenter, and well, now he doesn't. And now I think they might just kill him. God Z, though, went in first as opposed to the Axe. There's Zero finally joining in. Berserker's Call. God Z does die here. And Sunlight, by some sort of miracle of nature, is still alive. But finally he decided, it's time for me to fall. And that's exactly what's going to happen to the Karate Chop from the Axe.
Oh, Murata.
The Warden has been caught warding. And the Warden himself could die. Rolling Thunder, they considered it, but it took too long to use it. They should have just used it immediately after Berserker's Call. And that way, the Warden gets away with his life.
Oof. I mean, we can't really discount KBU. They played really well in game one, but this is gonna be a very uphill battle. Because the objective taking is so easy for Black and Yellow. They can Roach, as we also discussed. This Wraith King having 2 lives makes... like, that's what we talked about. If the Wraith King gets into this stage and they are the ones knocking at your door, what KBU has is not good versus that. They have to wrap around, they have to kill everyone else but the Wraith King. And with very little map control, it gets harder and harder to execute plays like that.
Realm does have Chrono in 5 seconds. The arrow will hit 0, so no need for the Chrono, it seems like, for now. I Annihilate. So that's the potential cookie stud. That's going to be a kill onto 0. A little bit of recovery for I Annihilate, who's starting to reach the Axis farm. And will soon have that BKB. They did cancel the Warden's TP, though, but the Warden can just walk away, it seems like. However, they're corralling him. Salacious Sea Lion does get away with the TP, but the Warden, not so lucky, will fall. No leap charges to his name. That's Carhua in the bottom lane. We do have a Chrono. Oh, they use both stuns at the same time. That's Reincarnation still available. What's the stun now? Inkswell is the only stun they have. Carhua has no mobility, though, so Carhua should go down unless they miss the Inkswell stun. And in fact, the counter initiation is here. But the Burst Strike used, plus the Epicenter. Rolling Thunder has been used by the Pangolier. Martors is now in trouble himself. As the help of the Kisses might almost kill Carhua. He's in the Sandstorm, so Carhua will fall. The Pangolier, though, gets rid of Salacious Sea Lion. I Annihilate could be in trouble. 0 finally joins the fray. I Annihilate just trying to kill a Courier before he dies, but he himself is going to be easily disposed of. The Courier survives. Sunlight running away for now. No Blink Dagger, but does have Burrow Strike, so he should be fine this time.
Poor execution, I think. Black and Yellow, the Wraith King was hitting the tier 2 tower. They got a really good glyph. They were able to punish his position. He was totally far away from his team. But, as you said, they use Chrono and Sand King stun at the same time. If they just go for the Burrow Strike, which the Void should know it's up, you get the first life, then you Chrono for the second life, and the fight is much, much better. Everyone from Black and Yellow, they had to smoke from top to bottom. And because they were able to buy that much time, because the Chrono was used first, they still got a good trade despite this overall pretty bad move from Carhua.
Yeah. I would say that there was a lot of mistakes from KBU side as well, like the Inkswell missing.
Yeah. The
or the
time
double
wall
stun
was not up, or maybe he... I didn't check if he didn't use...
What?
Huh.
I didn't check that, sorry. He died to... There was no epi, he just died solo. Oh, he got him with the... I'm assuming arrow?
That is a Sudoku towards Roche. That is a very common play. You just you
Right,
let
true,
you,
actually.
yeah, you have all the eyes in the bottom lane, and this is it for Roche. Pretty good. Dire thinks they are closer, but they're not. So just get the Roche.
Roche falls. Karakwa will get an Aegis off this, so now he has 3 lives. Next time they'll have to chain their stuns much more effectively. They really want to kill this Wraith King. As
I don't like that
we
they
get
gave
the initiation onto the Enchantress. Oh, the Scatterblast has the shard now, which means Zero's been cancelled. That Berserker's Call didn't quite come out in time. Annihilate surprising them with the shard, delaying his BKB further, but now at least giving them a little bit more team fight. And a Burrow Strike catches Karakwa. Again, he has 3 lives. It's a hard kill if there's anyone alive on the enemy side. They're gonna try for it anyway. At least get rid of the reincarnation. Or not. Or not at all. Just fight for a little bit, poke the bear, and when the bear is angry, leave. Salation Sea Lion will pay for this, though. Sunlight could be in trouble himself, as the Warden's covering his escape. It seems like Black and Yellow won't chase any further.
Okay, yeah, I really wish they gave the Pangolier or the Axe the Aegis. I don't feel like... The problem here is that he will get kited by the heroes inside of KBU. You have the shard stun on the Zenfire. By the way, I really like that he went for the shard before finishing the BKB. Having that stun was very useful there. And P1?
Oh, P1. Okay, there's the Chrono. That's gonna catch P1.
Would have Aegis.
We do have an Axe here. 0. There's a Scatterblast. Realm does get caught now by the Burrow Strike. Epicenter's being charged here. 0 could be in trouble himself. 0 will fall. Karakwa trying to lead this, but this time there's no teammates to save him, so even if he dies 3 times, who's gonna come here and rescue him? It's only God Z. God Z has the blinding light here, has to use it, but he gets caught himself with the Burrow Strike Sunlight. Make sure there's no reinforcements for this Wraith King, and the 3 lives will be lost, in quick succession. That is a huge win for KBU and the recovery.
Yeah, huge win. A lot of positioning mistakes there. The Enchantress dying, P1 trying to help, and that just snowballed into each hero dying, alone, pretty much. I also feel like if there was Aegis on the Pangolier or the Axe, the fight could have been totally different. Usually just 3 lives on a hero like Wraith King matters very little, because they have the heroes and the items to kite him out quite a bit. Unfortunate, because I think they were in a pretty good position as Black and Yellow, and now all of the momentum is gone. That Void will eventually become super scary for the Red King to deal with. In terms here of this Morana, does have the Vessel, so that's also why they're able to get all of those kills right now. Reducing the HP regen and the heal from the Wraith King, as well as just doing a lot of percentage-based damage. Very
yeah,
good.
the Ward has been pivotal to these fights.
You mean the one in closer to the river?
No, the Warden, not the Ward, sorry.
Oh, okay.
that was a good one. That's a good one, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice little dad joke there.
Super intentional.
Yes. Once Void gets BKB, I mean, as the game elongates, right, the harder it becomes for Black and Yellow to fight around these ultimates. So, because their fast cooldowns are good for the early game, but the longer the death timers are, the less important it is that you have faster cooldowns than, say, Chrono or Mortimer's Kisses.
Oh, yeah. That is very true. That's why those heroes KO. I mean, in this Axe hero, I think we saw, like, having a little bit of success in South America, but I still have lots of doubts about what this hero actually accomplished. It's...
What, the Axe?
It just gets bashed by the Void. Like, sure, you call, but you're not even, like, using any spells because you're bashed the whole time. Maybe when he has BKB, we might see him being more impactful.
Frankly, I think it has to do with the fact that, well, actually, I'll talk about the team fight.
Good positioning! Did I jinx the Axe?
P1 died there, and in fact, 0 could be in trouble. The Inksoul will hit this time. Sunlight making up for that earlier Epicenter by getting a beautiful one this time. Do they get the stun off? No, they don't. The Enchantress gets away with a TP. Godz also equally as lucky. So Black and Yellow only lose 2. So my point is that if you watch the Axe in Eastern Europe when it was up, sadness, The Axe was actually a pretty decent pick in Eastern Europe from certain teams because that's a region that understands team fights. Their team fight and their style execution is probably top-notch, Eastern Europe.
Yeah.
Even before Team Spirit. Like, if you watched that region, you knew that was one of the best regions for team fights. Whereas SA and NA, they like farming a little bit more, right? That's kind of the reality. And they don't play the fast tempo that Eastern Europe knows how to do. The Axe in Eastern Europe looked pretty good in certain games. I think the Axe in SA and NA, because of the tradition in these regions to far a bit more, to play more towards the late game rather than the mid game, is why it doesn't look as great. Personally, that's my theory.
No, I definitely agree. It's a big part of it.
I don't think Axe is good, mind you. I just think that it's underutilized.
Yeah. I do like that in this game they did last pick it, so it does look a little bit more impactful than, you know, when you first phase or second phase that hero. I think that, like, it's just so easy to abuse his lane.
Agree.
Now it is time for black and yellow to smoke. They don't necessarily have a super impactful timing here. The Wraith King is not even with them, by the way. He wants to finish that BKB blink, so
yeah,
they're not gonna find anything. They don't have a lot of vision in the enemy triangle or even the big jungle, so kind of a blind smoke just so they can get some grasp into the map control of KBU.
Top tower is under attack.
I think the next time, as you mentioned, where the BKB is not only for Wraith King but also for Axe. He's also going for his own BKB. What do you think of the Pango's build, by the way? The Yules for P1? Because we see the Diffusal Blade very commonly on mid lane Pango, but still the Yules, kind of like a hybrid between utility and damaging Pango. Is this enough scaling for a mid lane Pango?
I think it could have been, but they made mistakes. Sand King.
Okay. Yep, 0. Has a Yule Scepter though, but no time to use it. Well done, P1. Rolling through. What talent did he go for, by the way, level 15? 2.5 seconds shield crash CD and bow. Okay, so that justifies the Yules more, because it adds a lot more damage to Pango, but you need more mana regen, so Yules actually is a bit better for that.
And you do have the Kato as well, so it just makes it very powerful. I just feel like because they lost all the advantage, they're not playing from ahead. The use feels bad because they can't go for aggressive moves. Like, usually if you're just pushing the tower of the Wraith King, they will go at the Wraith King, and it's very easy to just land the Rolling Thunder without blinking and just using U-Scepter on top of the Wraith King. It's going to protect him. It's going to just do a lot. In this case, where they kind of have to kill people to hit towers now, it definitely feels a little bit underwhelming. It could eventually become that, you know, saving grace against the Chronosphere, but I don't think it's gonna go there, you know, before the Zayan disc. It would take a pretty decent amount of time until we see that item.
Yep. And Neon Disc is also a very, like, it's okay items, but it seems like Pango has been in survivability mode for a while, so all the hopes of Black and Yellow rely on this Wraith King, unless Axe has some sort of scaling that he can do. Don't really see it.
Yeah, doesn't feel like he has scaling. He's going for that BKB. What does scale, though, is this Kato hero. He's actually, you know, he's really good at enhancing the farming speed of the cores with the shard. If he does get it eventually, you can get that eggs. So that is a good aspect of their draft. But they also scale really well with Grimstroke. Probably one of the best late game supports. And he's going for that beautiful Aghanim Scepter. So it's scary.
Yes. Against the Wraith King is very strong. Magic Immune Wraith King, obviously. Really scary.
Or the Ench, right? You cannot cast spells. You cannot hit the Ench illusion. That's scary. Sproinking around. Messing
Yeah, but you also
people.
deal garbage damage compared to Wraith King. Come on, Bone.
Garbage
Why do you need an
damage.
unkillable illusion when you can get a super powerful illusion?
But sometimes what you want is... Okay, I don't know what I'm saying. There, you gotta go with
Yeah,
the
it's
Ench.
okay. The Edge saved you, it's fine. She might not die, though. She actually might survive
She
this.
died
Braxy
for my sins.
Has the hood. There's the Epicenter committed. Braxy's still alive. Braxy will live through this whole thing. Finally, the Chrono comes out. There's Mortimer's Kiss as well. As a Carquo's first life, but Pango only has one. However, Pango will survive. Things start rolling thunder. Axe also trying for now. Carquo comes back with a vengeance. And it's time for KBU US to retreat. Realm could be in trouble. The Koki to save him. He still has a time walk. And the Magic Wand has to use the time walk, but doesn't get enough range to use it. As Salacious Sea Lion tried to get some space for Scary, and instead he's just going to be another victim in this engagement.
Ow, dude. See, the Ench being unkillable is so powerful. They wasted so many spells.
I mean,
And at the end of the day, I think the Void, he was attacking the Wraith King for the first couple of hits he had. I also don't think he had Mask of Madness turned on for the beginning. So they don't do the Pango, he actually gets the roll-up off with the U-Scepter, dodges all of the kisses, and just really good fight. Really good bait by the Enchantress.
I think it's, I mean, okay. Yes, you're right. It's a good bait by the Enchantress, but also nobody's forcing you to hit the Enchantress first in the fights. And I do question what an Enchantress, the Hooded Defiance, and Holy Locket does beside tank.
And Nether Shawl, by the way.
And Nether Shawl. Yes, seriously. She's just here to tank magic damage. Stop going for her first. Let her live. Let the Enchanters live. This is not Bambi. You don't gotta kill her. The Warden is going to fall as a result.
She's a siren, dude. They just cannot. She's just too beautiful. They need to go to her, and unfortunately, it is a trap. And Black and Yellow, they're recovering. I'm very surprised. I don't think that was gonna happen at all. Clearly, an oversight from KBU in that fight, but just like Black and Yellow kind of threw with that move, they get it back. So Karma at its best. And once again, they feel like, you know, the second Aegis could be what they need. They get all of the tier 2 towers, they choke KBU a little bit, and with an AC, they do have the firepower to go high ground.
And with that, I think that Black and Yellow might be reaching the end of their power spike, right? I think they still got, like, I saw 10 minutes of window opportunity, but as you said, the AC is crucial. They could get an Aegis in this time, as they did on the Pango now. Not obviously, it's awkward when you have a Wraith King and you have no second pusher. Goes the high ground. Pango is not particularly the best one, but at least he now can play super aggressively.
Like, the thing is that it's not really like having it for a high ground push is good, but what they need is just to win a fight. Because grouping up to try and get towers when Chrono is up, Epicenter is up, is very scary. Even if you have 2 lives, the supports could die. So having 2 cores that can survive the first volley of spells allows them to win the fight, because, you know, they have so many lives, they have so much overwhelming damage, and then you just get the buildings. They just have to survive. So I'm very glad that they went for it. They also, with the Aeon Disc, I wouldn't even mind the Axe having the Aegis, honestly, but you know, it's okay. I don't think it matters.
Right, I could see the Axe. If Axe had gone, if Zero had gone for a build that was more around, like, trying to maximize his damage, like I've seen Axes go for Refresher actually for Double Berserker's Call, or even Ags or something like that, I could see that. But if you go for the BKB, you already built so much survivability. I think the Pango makes more sense, right?
Yeah, he definitely has more damage, especially with the Chakra Magic. I also wouldn't mind seeing the Kodo playing around the Axe. I feel like the 3.2, you know, Berserker's Call disable is really strong, and you have almost no downtime with the Kodo Chakra Magic. But overall, they have a lot of options to play with. All of the cores, they are not the standard combos you think with Kodo, but they all work really well. Very low cooldown spells on all of them.
Yeah, they utilize this well, and the timing as well. I do feel like KBU has given them a chance. Like this went the way that we expected for the most part, where Black and Yellow wins the early game, maybe more than they should have, but still wins the early game. They take advantage of that. They do some couple of good fights, and maybe 1 or 2 throws, which give KBU the edge. And then KBU should just keep that for the rest of the game. But unfortunately, they also do a little bit of throws by going for the Enchanters first. So it's like, it's what we kind of described in the draft, with a couple of misplays here and there. And now Black and Yellow's back in the driver's seat, which makes it very difficult for KBU to come back unless Black and Yellow once again makes a mistake, which I don't think they will. They seem pretty confident right now.
Yeah, the biggest trouble for me in this game is that Realm, like, even though KBU stopped the momentum... Oh, they might get Braxy here.
I mean, they're committed at this point. You tried 3 times for the Enchantress.
What?
Oh my god.
What?
Okay, I mean, at least it's teaching them that Enchantress is just not a hero you want to kill this game, right? Maybe that's it.
Or let the enemy have. That hero is so broken.
I agree Enchantress is really strong, right? But what does she do in team fights as a tank, right? That's my point.
I think she's just like this Abaddon, right? That doesn't mind breaking smokes, but he actually doesn't. She doesn't die after the ult, because you know, she's just overwhelmingly tanky. And obviously, in a game we're playing from ahead, she looks much better. But as I was saying, I think the problem here is that even though they got the Aegis really quickly from Black and Yellow, the Void never farmed fast enough because he was forced into this max time walk build, had to rush Mask of Madness before the Maelstrom. So he is just okay. My dog's going crazy.
He stayed the reason, man. That's a reason. I'll take it. That's fine.
Okay.
It's
All
definitely
right, guys.
better than
My
Shaggy's
dog's
reason.
going crazy. I'll stop. I'm stop casting for a bit.
Are you making fun of this Div 2 NA player, Bowie?
Not at all. No.
Please stop
I
casting.
love.
But
I actually love Seal. He is. He's a really cool player.
Salacious Sea Lion, my friend.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I don't even know his name, but you love him, huh?
Why is salacious actually?
You know what? We're both not English speakers, right? So we get a pass. We don't need to know.
Oh, all right. Very
There you go.
nice. Very nice way out. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I always told my roommates when they told me to do the dishes, I said I don't speak English, and then that was it. GG. Can't do the dishes if I don't speak English, right? Don't understand your commands.
Oh, okay. I actually don't Google what it means, guys. Yeah.
What?
Oh, you don't want to know.
Okay. Salacious Sea Lions also casts legal ads occasionally, which is really cool. So he supports
Really?
a lot of the he supports a lot of the amateur like I don't know if it's fair to call it amateur. It's like no, I think it is. I think it's amateur, like the Midwest Dota2 League and the legal ads and stuff like that. It's interesting because for all the hate that NA gets for not having a tier 2 scene, they actually have a pretty healthy amateur scene between collegiate esports and like a lot of these like smaller leagues. And I've watched those games occasionally. They have a really good, fun community sense to them. If you haven't watched them, I do recommend you check them out. Not you, Bowie, but the chat. Because they need all the support they can get. And occasionally, Salacious Sea Lion does cast them as an analyst, which is cool to see him now playing as well.
It's really cool. Like when I look at the higher echelon of maybe I shouldn't say SA players, but maybe just Brazilian players.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the NA players are much more willing to create content and interact with the viewers than Brazil. Sometimes they like. If you look at the DPC and see how many of these players actually have either like an active Twitch / a YouTube channel,
Sure.
it's much more than Brazil. So they do actually try pretty hard to interact and like at least give back to the community.
The reality of it is that in NA, they've had to, unfortunately, realize how the whole system works because they were not really given equal opportunities. Like, I mean, they were given equal opportunities to other regions, but not equal for their region, right? The idea of equality versus equity.
Yes,
they needed more money, essentially, to thrive. And as a result, they had to figure out how to find any sort of gains in the system long before any other players. In SA, they did have a lot of amateur tournaments, which allowed them to live off them, right? So you didn't have to do as much of streaming and stuff like that. Similar with the US and SCA, NA is truly the least spoiled region, in my opinion. And I think that's what leads to these players trying to be more innovative. That's why it's really cool to see some of the new up-and-coming players in Div 2 that are actually trying to make a name for themselves. Because they try really hard.
Definitely. Oh, there you go.
Right,
Ench just
oh, god damn.
doing Ench
Stop.
things.
Leave her alone. Mortimer's Kiss is just for the Ench. P1 stuck. Okay, Mortimer's Kiss is a little bit for P1. Realm's out of BKB, though. Are they going to reset this? We still have the Chrono available. Axe does catch a Grimstroke. That's going to be the loss of one of your supports. So Ench for Grimstroke.
Yeah, but they did use kisses, so that is a big cooldown that unfortunately is not going to be abused because the Aegis is going to expire. But like I think that is the thing about Enchantress, especially when you're playing ahead.
Yep.
Sure, you don't have
she's
to
amazing.
hit her, but she gives vision of everyone. You know how you can take a fight. You know where everyone is, and that by itself in a in a professional game is very valuable information.
That's just because what you have to do is obvious, which is ignore her, doesn't mean that the actual way you propose a team fight is easy, right? You have to come up with a more creative way to propose a team fight, usually by trying to smoke into the back lines and doing a wraparound, stuff like that. Or a pincer movement, for example, from two sides, so Ench only gives partial vision of the team fight. Those things are how you play against an Ench, but easier said than done.
Like we were talking about the fact that they have to ignore the Wraith King, but now you're in a situation that like, okay, I have to ignore the Wraith King, I ignore the 5. How do we take a fight? Who is even killable here? And the SK dies bottom, so...
Not sure what he was doing there, to be honest. Kind of farming the enemy triangle solo.
He was being a tourist, just walking around, checking the view, sightseeing. Unfortunately, gets attacked by an angry mob of very angry dire heroes.
Yeah, that is usually what happens when I go sightseeing as well. You gotta be careful with those angry mobs of 5 random species. One of them, which is a king, apparently.
True, true, true. Well, he thought he was the king, but his crown gets taken away, and with that death, they're gonna try and force a buyback here. They force the glyph.
Oh, that's actually very good. Oh, right, a Sand King got killed by an angry mob. That's just history.
Yes.
That's true.
Yeah.
P1.
Okay, around
Okay.
looking for that chrono in the back lines, but what?
Okay, well, Wraith King, not an easy target either. Zero does stop him, and that's going to be Realm dead. 87 seconds, sorry, without the Void. He doesn't buyback, however, so he could use it. He commits it. They know they got to fight this. They miss a Scatter Blast into the Coddle, so they're not going to quite kill him early. However, the Mirana will still be able to catch up to him. P1 has the Aeon Disc, so he's not going to die just yet, but he's still been silenced thanks to the Ghost, which is not dispelled by the Aeon Disc, which means P1 will fall. There's a chance for KBU then, as they take the kill onto the Pango. They did lose a lane to Rax, however.
Yeah, overall, still what Black and Yellow wanted. They do have this casualty. They're gonna try and smoke and abuse, try to find at least like an opening somewhere. It's possible. Karhua feels like his carry instincts want to show in lane. He wants that farm, and I'm pretty sure. I guess there's a tower though. Oh, he doesn't show. Nice. He's an OG.
He knows.
Yeah.
He's reached level 25 as well, which is a huge power spike for the Wraith King. That almost doubles your damage output.
Yep. And, I mean, this round could die here.
If he dies the second time, this is over. There we go. That's a dieback for Realm. Still no chrono able to be used. Sunlight also joins him in the grave. Annihilate can't run away. 3 cores killed like it was nothing by Karhua. I think the Black and Yellow would probably won this regardless, like once they got that second throw, but I do feel like KBU is losing the plot a little bit into this mid-lane game.
Yeah, they just very low percentage play there. You don't have buyback on your Void. You use him as a bait. You don't really keep track of the respawn timer of the Axe. Maybe they felt like Wraith King actually TP'd somewhere after leaving the skeletons, but just really good play by Karhua, staying there. This time, he gets a strength hero that I will not say is weird. He's actually playing really well, and really nice to see. You know, after that performance, a lot of carries could get tilted. He is playing really, really well. Obviously, it was set up to success. Still, very nicely done. Sand King very low.
Abyssal Blade of the Sand King. That's going to be a dead Sand King now, so let's just see line. Battle Hunger won't be... never mind. They're just going to straight up kill him with a Wraith King. The Warden, at least able to make it back to base. In Fountain, he'll be safe, but Karhua, he's done with this game. He knows he can finish it. Take a knee, peasant, indeed. Wraith King will be the one true king for this game. As KBU only has a Mirana left to defend this. They're not calling GG, they're going to wait till the bitter end, but the bitter end is sooner than they thought. And that's going to be game 2 going the way of Black and Yellow. We are getting a game 3, my friend.
Very nice. I mean, Division 2, that's how it's supposed to be. Very entertaining. Everyone pulling their different strats. I think this was much, much better. I also feel like going into